welcome back to my channel. I'm Allison Alanna, and if you're new here, make sure you subscribe on the way in. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always tuning in. So, first off, pardon any noise you might hear. I do have kids, and recording this video sometimes it can get a little loud and things like that. So just kind of disregard the background and kind of pay attention to what's being said. All right, so today we're going to be doing the Q&A. Shortly after my birthday, I had some questions that you guys had for me to do a Q&A. So the first question is, are you still not comfortable sharing where you live? What state you're in? And it's not a secret where I live, but I just don't see why that would be anybody's business. I don't share it. I don't talk about it, not because of some major thing. It's just because it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So, if people, people like to dig around and look for things wherever they think I live, that's where I'm at. If you know what state I'm in, then good for you. I don't know what difference that makes you or I, but I mean, it's not a secret. It's just not something that I publicly share, and it really shouldn't be something that people continuously ask when I've clearly said that I just don't share it. You know what I mean? It's really like showing, I guess you could say, lack of respect for people's boundaries. Like, oh, if she don't tell, I'm gonna try to force her to tell by constantly asking where she lives, or just going to go research and dig up stuff and then post it all over the internet because I just need to know. I just need to know. So yeah, whatever y'all want to think or do or whatever, that's perfectly fine with me. However, like I said, it's not really about not being comfortable sharing it or any particular reason why. I just don't talk about it because where I live is my business, and that's just that. So I think the next question that this person had was, oh, are you glad that you moved? Are you still happy that you moved? And no, I think the question particularly was, do you regret moving and having no help, or are you happy you moved? And the answer to that is, I didn't have help when I lived where I lived. I guess you can call that a parent, but that other individual that was involved, yes, in creating my children, never really helped me. Never. It was always a push and a pull. Call 17,000 times just to ask the same question. Feeling like I have to force somebody to take care of their responsibilities. It was never any help there. So it's like, it doesn't, no help is no help. So it doesn't matter if you move to Timbuktu. If you had no help where you were at and you have no help in a different location, it doesn't really matter. So, again, no help is no help. I moved from there to be able to restart my life because I just felt like enough was enough. And I wanted to be as far away from said individuals as possible. There was no reason to continue to even want to be in that same space, environment, anything after certain situations, so it's like, if I didn't have any help there already, and if I move somewhere else, it makes no difference. And I think that it was like a 3-part question. So the third part was, how often do you talk to your daughter? And this question kind of just tickles me because it kind of lets me know who watches the reaction channels and who does not, because certain things get said over there, suspicions or things that people just make up just for their content. You got to remember, people that do those channels need something to talk about. And a lot of them are dishonest, low-life, trifling people that are even willing to make stuff up just to talk about it. You know what I mean? So it don't care how much dirt they throw on somebody's name. As long as they getting paid, it don't matter. And those are the type of people that I can't stand and I stay far away from because money moves them, and I just don't rock like that. But yeah, I know that was a topic of discussion at one point, and it was like, well, she must not really have a relationship with her daughter. She never talks about her daughter and all of this. So it's always funny when somebody comes over here and asks me, when was the last time I talked to my daughter? Again, I don't know why that would matter. You know, I don't know why that would matter to anyone. It's just so weird. I'm her mother. If you have kids, don't you talk to your kids on a regular? So it's the same thing with me. I talk to my kids on a regular, all of them. I have 4 children, and all 4 of them have a relationship with me. We talk all the time. Sometimes we talk for hours. For hours at a time. We talk all the time. So just because I don't see why I would have to come on the vlog though and say, oh, I talked to my daughter today and such and such was said, whatever. My daughter is a young adult, so I'm not coming on my vlog to talk about her business or to share our conversations with a bunch of strangers. Like that's weird. That's severely weird, in my opinion. So when people ask me that, it's just like, what? Y'all either been heavily watching the reaction channels, or y'all just like think differently. You know what I mean? Or like I said, the reaction channels is getting to y'all head, and it's like, well, I wonder if that's really could be true, because she don't be saying nothing about her daughter or whatever. But it's a respect issue. It's a boundary issue. You know what I mean? Like, why would I come on here and talk about my young adult daughter to a bunch of strangers? This channel is called Allison Alanna, not Allison and the kids, not Allison and family, not Allison slandering the nation. It's called Allison Alanna, where I talk about me, my struggles, my journey, the impact I intend to make, the impact I'm currently making on a smaller scale. You know, just my situations in my life, motherhood, fashion, things of that nature. It has nothing to do with nobody else but me. So don't think that if I don't talk about certain people that means, oh, it's something wrong, or you know, whatever like that. Like, I'm a mom. Like I said, I'm close with all of my kids, all of them. All right. So the next question is, are you going to move to the state where your daughter lives in? And initially back in May, when I first had that eviction scare, that was what I had kind of planned to do, because I prefer for us to all live in the same state anyway. But I didn't get evicted at that time, so that didn't happen. However, with that being said, there has been like some changes family-wise, so that might be a thing that I was asked. Yes.
I can go under you guys.
I was asked to do, but I don't know. I have to really put some thought and some heavy consideration into that, and you know, just really think it through, because this is my life. And now that I'm a little bit older, I got a young adult child and a teenager. It's kind of like I'm ready to start thinking about myself more than I used to do. At first, it was just always about them, and then I have 2 toddlers, so it's like I just got to really think it through to make sure that if I were to make that transition, it would be happy and healthy for everybody. So yeah, that's that on that. The next question was, how would my son feel about losing his friends? I haven't spoken to him about that, because I never said that I was going to move to that location verbatim. I really don't know how he would feel, but my son keeps in touch with all of his friends, even his friends from our old state. They get on Roblox, they're talking on video, like they're always in communication even still. So I don't know, I guess that's something that I would have to ask him personally. I don't know. So the next question is, why do you feel like a 9-to-5 is settling? And this particular person that asked this question, I already kind of said something to them on a live that I was on recently. Because for whatever reason, they always just have something stupid to say. This person has come out of their mouth and told me that I must think I'm better than people, and that's weird, because I got put out of a trailer park. And I'm like, first off, what I think of me has nothing to do with you. So is it possible that the way that I feel about myself offends you and makes you feel like you're nothing? But I don't think too much into what people think, you know? But like I said, hit dogs always holler, and kind of just tell on yourself unknowingly. However, we went over this a 1,000 times, but I guess just for the sake of the Q&A, I'll go ahead and answer it again. I think a 9-to-5 is settling, depending on who you are. For me, a basic 9-to-5 is settling for me. Okay. My desires and my goals are just that. You know, so the next person might be completely okay with going to a 9-to-5, and that is their choice, and that is their right. However, I have not worked a 9-to-5 in almost going on 11 years, okay? And the reason for that is because I just don't fit in that environment. It just never works for me. I never last at jobs. It just never works out for me. If it works for another individual, then by all means, do what you need to do for you. I deem it to be settling because they don't pay you anything. You go there for 8 hours out of your day, sometimes more than 8 hours. And after waiting 2 weeks to be paid, you still can't pay all your bills. You're still struggling. You still can't take a vacation. You still can't put your kids in soccer and swim class and cheerleading. You still can't do what you need to do for you and the children you may have, or whatever the case might be. To me, unless it's like a major career, it is a waste of time for me as a mother who is single and has no help and would have to worry about daycare and things like that. And even if you get a voucher, you still have to pay a copay, and just taking money away from your household to have somebody watch your kid that you could be watching on your own. There are work from home jobs. There are businesses that you can start. There's many different things you can do. You can sell dinners. You can sell clothes on the sidewalk, t-shirts on the sidewalk. Many ways to do it, but I just choose to do things that are on my own time and my own schedule because of my current lifestyle. I have to live my life right now kind of like around my kids because my kids are very young. They can't watch themselves. And it is my responsibility as a mother to be there for them, not the daycare and not anybody else. So I want to be here on a day-to-day basis for my kids. So I don't do the 9-to-5 situations anymore because, like I said, to me, they're a waste of time. And the vision that I have for myself, the vision that God has given me for myself, does not include 9-to-5s. I remember way back in 2018 when I was expecting my third child. I was trying to get like a work from home job because I'm like, okay, what I'm doing right now is more like delivery. I'm gonna have to be outdoors. I don't want to be driving around with my newborn in a car or my young baby in a car, delivering groceries or orders or things like that. So I'm gonna find a work from home job. And I think I got like one interview, and they never worked out for me. I applied to several jobs. Probably well over 100 within that year, and I didn't get a job at all. And I think that was when I knew that this just wasn't for me. You're supposed to work. You don't have to have a job. So if you miss what that means, I don't know what other way to explain it for you when it comes to that. But yeah, for me, my vision for my life is so much bigger. It doesn't include a job. It definitely includes work, but not a job. And plus my demeanor, my just me as a whole, I just don't do good in that environment. It's never really worked out for me at all. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's that on that. And I think the next question attached to that was, do you look down on people that that work 9-to-5s? And the answer is no. I am Allison. I don't care what anybody else do, whether it's Bonquisha, Michaela, or Tanya. I don't care what y'all are doing because y'all are not me. I only concern myself about me and my 4 children. That is my concern at this point. in terms of like intimate details and, you know, career wise and things like that. I don't care if you dance on a pole. That is your business. It has nothing to do with me. So whatever you do, if you're choosing the 9-to-5 route and that is what your character and your demeanor is built for, and you're happy in that place, that is totally up to you, because I personally don't care. So this person asked me a question from a fake page, I'm sure, because I remember when they posted it, and the page was just made like 2 days before or something like that. So they asked me, normally I would just tell you to get out, you on your face page to get out my face, but like I said, for the sake of this Q&A, I'm gonna just answer it, and it might not be the answer that you think you're gonna get. But the reason why I don't talk about my kids' dads is because they don't matter. I don't talk to them. They don't have a relationship with their children, so they don't matter. I hope that I hope that was clarity for you, because that's all you're gonna get. Unlike other women, or I'm not gonna say other women, unlike some other people, I don't have time to be worried about people who aren't worried about me or their children, which is the most important half, their children, right? I have already spent time in that space trying to get people to do the right thing by their own children, and it's just something that I don't want to do anymore. You don't care. You don't want to provide. You don't want to be a proper father. You only want to do it to the level of which you want to do it, and leave the rest on the other party. Cool. Just don't do anything. You know what I mean? It's done. It's okay. So there is no reason to consider people who treat their own kids like garbage. You know what I mean? And you know what's funny? I'm going to go a little even detail. I know such individuals to be a very big YouTube indulger. So they're always on YouTube, right? And I'm pretty sure I think within my first month of YouTube, I had gotten over 2.1 million impressions on my channel. So that means that over 2.1 million people saw my videos. I was in the algorithm very, very heavy and was being pushed out to everyone, everywhere, every country, like it was real, okay? And I am about 100, it's like to say 100% sure that such individuals saw me on the internet. And I'm almost willing to say that they just found it funny. They probably just watched it and laughed. They said, oh, she got to be on the internet.
I just fighting over the popcorn.
Asking for money and stuff like that. They probably was just glad that they didn't have to pay it. Or that better yet, that I was no longer asking them. Because sometimes it didn't matter how much I asked for assistance. It was just always, no, I'm not doing it. No, I don't have it. No, I don't. You know what I mean? Because people have their priorities backwards. They think that their life belongs to the streets versus their kids. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that person has seen probably several of my videos and watch it just to laugh and have something to talk about. You know what I mean? So, why would I be talking about them? What relevance or what importance do they serve in the world, let alone to my kids? You know what I mean? It just common sense. You just don't shed light on people who don't matter. And anybody who neglects their own definitely don't matter to me.
Reggie got hurt.
Yeah, that's that on that. The next question was, do you keep in touch with your parents and your sister? And those people aren't a part of my channel, so I don't really talk about them. As you can tell, I've really been consistent on this platform now for about 7 months, and I don't really speak on them. Unless it's like absolutely necessary, like it's something going on where they're involved and I had to talk about it. But other than that, I don't mention them because they're not a part of this channel. This channel is mine, and not even my boys are really a part of this channel. They just get seen because of the fact that they're with me all the time because I don't be having my kids here and there and everywhere. My kids are with me, you know, so
but don't eat it.
Y'all get a glimpse of them, and I do allow them to say hi and chat a little bit, but they're not really a part of this channel. This channel is my channel, so I'm not going to speak on them whether we talk or don't talk. That really don't matter. The next question was, can you explain your previous evictions that are public record? And my answer to that is, if you had time to go look up my records to see if I've had evictions before, I really have to wonder about you, what you spend your time doing, where you are with Christ, what your life is like, how do you feel about yourself? Like, it's a lot of questions that come to mind when I think about the way that question was asked. Because it's just very, very weird. It's very weird. But I'll give you this. People have to be really stupid, right, to think that you could be evicted from the same place several times in 1 year. If you are, I think I heard people say that I had like 5 evictions or something from the same place. The same place. Think about that. So a lease is a year, which is typically a 12-month period, correct? And then they say, oh, she got like 3 to 5 evictions from this one place. So okay, think about it. You move into a new place, right? So you got to have a security deposit and your first month's rent. When you're evicted, you're done. You're out of there, right? In order for me to have been evicted again, that would mean that I had to move back in again. Why would a community that evicted me, right, allow me, and all my stuff is out there, right? And especially where I'm from, it's a little different in other places, but where I'm from, why would they evict me and then allow me to move right back in, right? So now I got to pay security deposit and first month's rent again, right? And move back in. Especially if I already had an eviction history. But once you get an eviction, until it's paid off, you can't really get anything. You know what I mean? Unless you really know how to work certain things. But other than that, if you're just going the legit way, you can't get anything. So I want y'all to answer y'all own question on that when it comes to the several evictions in the place. And also, I even heard about the housing authority evictions. And all I'm going to say about that is I was never evicted from housing authority. Okay? Never evicted from housing authority. When I left housing authority, I was like 8 months pregnant with my 3rd child. And I moved away willingly to another place. So I'll give you that. But everything else, I guess you're just going to have to keep on doing your research for. Because it's just weird that these are of all the questions that y'all can ask me. Y'all want to know about things that have nothing to do with y'all. And that was never discussed on the channel. And y'all are searching up things y'all can find about me to talk about. So I'll leave you all with the honors on that one. All right, so that is going to do it for this Q&A. It was very minimal questions asked. And yeah, that's going to do it for this Q&A. And I hope you guys got some clarity, enjoyed the videos, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.